very excited about our upcoming Witches show, Anya. You know, it's probably going to be... I was actually thinking about it, and it will be probably our last show. I know, I'm really sorry. I know. Next year's 40 years of me being a performer, and I've kind of been doing this thing of taking my personal politics and stepping them out more and more over the last probably 5 years. And, you know, obviously I'm running for the Greens for the next federal election. There's a really good chance I could get voted in. It's not a given. To kind of honour that decision, I'm having to leave behind, you know, a whole part of my life that's been really important, because I sort of feel like I need to go somewhere else. I know it's a really weird thing to say, but I feel like I'll always be available for fundraisers, but the part of me that has pushed and pushed and pushed as a comedian for years and years.
It's a lot of energy, like, and if you
So
can
much.
move that energy, like, right, what you've been doing for the last, you know, few years since you stood for last election is pushing in all of those, like, it's like, in a,
Well, yeah,
that's a
and
lot.
I'm really, you know, I want to continue doing my work in I don't know what it looks like, so I'm hoping to get in as the MP.
You mean, yeah, you will.
And I'm sort of really focusing on that. And no matter what happens, I'll be working in advocacy and working, you know, that's where I want to put my energy, because you really got to think, you know, I'm 56, you know, I've probably got another good 10 to 15 years of work left. And we know how quickly that goes. And I actually don't want to put it into a comedy scene where I drive off, and I don't want to be rude, but to some shit gig, you know, with, you know, and some of them are like, I see you at the good gigs, right? I go to some shit gigs and they're fine, but sometimes they're not, and everyone's pissed, and I don't drink anymore. And
it's also like I've been having this
hard.
conversation about my shows in Timbre and Lismore, like when you play at a place that is not funded at all by the alcohol, food or gambling industry, like you have to push so hard to make that space happen.
Yeah.
Like, and you take huge financial risks. Whereas if you go into one of those places, you're gonna get, you know, a fee, you're gonna get like looked at, but then you're dealing with like really toxic stuff. And then you're also like, okay, so my art, comedy, music, whatever, is being used to sell.
booze.
You're just there to
Whatever.
sell
And I've had
something that's not healthy.
Yeah, and I've had lots of amazing experiences. Like, I have beautiful gigs in some places around here, like my gig at the Ballina RSL and the Kingscliff Bolo. They're just beautiful, and I love
Yeah.
them. And they'll keep going, because, you know, Ellen will kind of step in and be the person that runs that. But some of the other stuff that I'll go to, that I'll turn up to, where it's like 7 guys going on before me, I'm at the end, there's 8 people in the audience, and I'm 3 times older than them, and I'm like, I've got nothing to fucking say. Like, I'm out, and then I walk home in the dark with my $110 going, I love the seniority and the respect.
Oh, like, is
it's
there
just
any other
horrible.
industry that you would like be in it for 40 years and be at the mastery level that you are, with like mastery level that you are? Like, imagine a lawyer,
No.
or you know, like a health professional or whatever, like 40 years to the mastery of
I think you've also got to realise, and it's something that I kind of woke up to as a woman in my field, and as a 56-year-old woman, people aren't clambering going, God, is there a really talented comedian who's almost 60 that we can put on? Like, it's ageist, and it doesn't matter, even if you're going out, like, of course there's older people that want to watch comedy, and I don't want to have to, like, my stories are older stories now, because you know, that's what I'm experiencing, and they're the people I'm talking to. But the industry, and it always is, as it should be, is very focused on this young emerging conversation, and there's really I just felt like there wasn't a place for older performers, and we have to fight for it. And I tell you what, if I'm going to fight, I'm going to fight for something else. Like, I kind of went, what do I want to fight for?
Amazing.
A place for older people coming in performance, coming after me, or would I rather? I think I'm more engaged in
burn
Oh,
down the
yeah,
system
exactly.
and restart again.
That's it. I'm
what
like
we're
going,
sending
okay,
you
I
for.
think you've got to go up. It's the classic Desmond Tutu thing, is you got to go upstream because all that kind of stuff is systemic, and you can't keep patching the boat. Like you've got to go build a whole new vessel.
Yeah.
You know, and and not saying that I'm even, I'm just an ordinary person, but I'm prepared to do that. Like, I don't know what the work is going to look like and how it's going to be, but I'm prepared to do it.
Well, it's still going to be
That's what being
work.
we're witches.
It's
witches
still going to be
work.
witches
So
work.
That's why this is like one of our last witches shows.
And we've chose specifically a very wholesome, beautiful venue that doesn't feel like
It's
any of those
beautiful.
other spaces.
It's a really beautiful
you know?
venue.
And a venue that's had to survive for so many years without a license, and
Yeah.
had to really like be inventive and amazing about how it presented and worked with
Oh,
community.
it's been
Yeah.
amazing, and I think the Brunswick.
And we've never done it like.
Haven't done a
like
witches
Brett
show,
and
though.
Chris were like, "How have you not done a witches show yet?" And I was like, "Oh, I
know.
don't know,"
I think
but we are now.
I think it's really great too, though, because I think that's it's an example of how arts can be really transformative for the community. Like, really good witches work, and there's heaps of witches here.
Yes.
Heaps, heaps of witches.
Yeah. So I think when the word gets out that this is the
last witches.
last witches,
Yeah, because then it's up to you.
yeah.
You must do the work.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get up there and dance in my gold suit on my
You
own.
might have to. Although there might be a time like you might need to bring in a new witch. Like you have permission. The witch's suit is just a pathway.
No,
It's a big
you're
suit to
my
fill.
witch. Well, the reason we started, it's actually like, yeah, it'll get me emotional. But the reason we started this is actually why you're stepping away from it, because we actually were like turning up to shows. Like, we didn't have places to have these honest, when you're turning up to, I'm turning up to Bolo, you're turning up to
Yeah.
a different place. Like, we didn't have chances on our stages and on our sets to have some like deep, meaningful conversations where our politics met.
Yeah.
And now you're just taking it next level. It's like the logical next step, get a witch into Parliament.
I know.
But it's
And-
actually the reason we started this.
Well, it is,
because
because-
we got sick and fucking tired of being, just like performative out there for whatever you need to do, and not actually being having a space in a show. And when we did that very first show in Byron, we were like, fuck. Like, there's
Yeah.
other people like us that
It's such a relief.
that want that. And so now we
So
just have
come
to
along.
keep creating it.
Because you never know, you could be the next country witches. Maybe we just hand it on. Wouldn't it be amazing then to go, here's some new country witches, off you go, you now run, you now be the witches. And then they just take off. Hard to let go, isn't it? I'm doing a lot of letting go at the
Amazing.
moment.
It's really
It's
nice.
really big.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, and it's really quite good.
Yeah.
I did have this really full-on dream. I don't know what it means. I'm not very esoteric. So maybe you can tell me what it means. And I dreamt I went to swim, and it was full of whales. And they were breaching, and they were doing backflips. And it was kind of like, and I was just there with all the whales. Like, I went, yeah, I'm in the right place. I'm with the power. The power whales. I don't know, but really beautiful. It was kind of one of those soft pat, like there was it's one of those dreams where it was just, and I kind of went, oh, this feels really nice in this kind of very whaley, kind of like hundreds. Like they were everywhere. Like you couldn't swim for whales, and they were lifting me up, and I was going, oh, yay, and other people were there. It was, I think I might have licked a mushroom. I was with my pod, my witch's pod. Anyway, it was really beautiful. So I went, I feel like I'm in that, I feel like you're going through those, you go through times in your life, and it now feels like, I don't think I let go easily, and I'm really part of the kind of doing some final endings is actually getting really good closure on beautiful parts of my life, like my relationship with Ellen and our Women Like Us, and like my relationship with you and our Country Witches, and then it will be a soft kind of handover and a really kind of, I would like to leave my stand-up comedy career in an elegant, conscious way, rather than just become more and more irrelevant and bitter.
You also have bigger, you have
It
big
kind of
work
happens
to
as
do.
you get older. Like, you get dismissed and you kind of start to feel angry about it, and then you're perceived and it starts to, and I went, okay, I'm going to use this. I'm not going to lose this. That's the thing. Use it, don't lose it. And that's, when you say use it, don't lose it, sometimes it means you have to be open to transformation. And you've got to, and that's when you've got to be like a big whale coming out.
Yeah.
You've got to be like
Well,
this,
it's like
this. I'm
it's
preaching.
It's your logical next step as a witch.
Yeah,
like
it is.
we need people like you in there.
And then we need all of you to come.
Yeah.
All right, come to our show.
Yee.
We'll be crazy. We'll do things that will probably end up in the Daily Mail.
I hope so.
Oh no. Oh my God. Okay, 21st at the Brunswick Picture House, and tickets are on their website. See you there. Bye.